All right, welcome out. It's Wednesday. It's Podcast Wednesday here for me. And we've been talking football earlier this afternoon. Now we're going to switch things over and we're going to talk volleyball. And we started talking volleyball and we're going to talk Toloso Midway Lady Cherokees. They're not Warriors. I remember Lady Cherokees, the volleyball. And on the screen, I have our head coach, the lady that runs our program there at Toloso Midway, Shelby Chapa. Coach, how you doing?
Doing good. We are doing good.
All right.
Here. Yeah. Yep.
Coach, thank you for coming on. Coach comes on every Wednesday here throughout the volleyball season to talk about her program and her players. And starting this week, we're gonna every Wednesday she's gonna be bringing in one of her players, and she's got a senior here that we're gonna introduce here in just a bit. So I want to thank her for coming on and spending some time here with us. And we're gonna do this every Wednesday throughout the volleyball season. Coach will bring someone in and talk about the player, and we'll have the player talk a little bit about the coach. So definitely excited about that. Coach, let's jump right into the games. We had two games from the last time we had a podcast, and let's go to Ingleside. That was the game that you had. I kind of felt, because we do a podcast there with them as well, that it was going to be good for them to play a team like a TM. It was good. You guys got the sweep. What did you see from your team? Well, what did you want to see from them going into that game? And did you see that because you guys got the sweep 3-0?
Yeah, for sure. It was a great night. It was our first program sweep across the board. So all three of our teams won on our sub varsities and our varsity. The varsity girls, they did a great job of coming out and taking care of business. Like I said, we've been having lots of conversations about just playing good, consistent volleyball. No matter the level of team. And I think the girls Friday night, they really showcased that. They stayed true to who they were. They played Cherokee volleyball. They had really high energy and they had a lot of fun with the match. So I think those are things that we're really focused on, and especially when we're playing different levels of opponents, is really just working to maintain ourselves and stay true to who we are, and playing just good, clean volleyball. And I think they did a really good job of doing that Friday night.
Yeah, and you've talked on the podcast a lot about wanting to make sure that no matter you're playing a tough team from the Valley or someone that's maybe at our level or maybe just starting to try to get to that level, that you want to see that consistency from the players. And it was great to be able to get that sweep, understand that all levels actually won. That's always a good thing for a coach and the players in the program as well. Then we jump over to the next game, which was Sinton. Sinton, very good, well-coached team. They got some great athletes out there. Been following them and been keeping an eye on them for quite some time. Since we live out here in Rockport, we kind of go head to head with them in a lot of sports. Came up a little short. They beat us 3-2, but it seemed like it was a very good match. Talk to us a little bit about that and what you saw. What were Sinton able to do, or was it something that we just didn't do to finish out that match to get the win?
Yeah, no, I think it was a great match. We love 5-set matches. And I'll take the biggest thing is we have a conversation. It's like win or learn. So you want to definitely, obviously you want to get the win at the end of the night, but what can we learn from it? And I think what Sinton did really well, at the end of that third set, when the momentum kind of shifted, is they did a great job of just terminating the ball. They were playing really, really gritty, scrappy defense. And I think that's an area right now we're still trying to figure out. We're trying to have that like all or nothing, we're going for every ball, kind of energy on the court. And we have moments of doing that really well. And then we have moments where I think we just get caught a little bit watching. So we saw a little bit of that last night. And they have a great offensive load across the board. So their hitters did a really good job of just terminating. And no matter what hitter they were getting the ball to, they were terminating. And I think some areas that our hitters struggled last night, collectively across the board doing that. We have a lot of great offensive options, but not everybody did their job of, really terminating in those high pressure situations. And that's what we saw last night. In those situations, we played it a little safe when we should be, going all out. And I think that's really just the biggest area that we have to learn from, especially in a 5-set match, is it's all or nothing. So you got to either go for it or, we're sent home packing.
Yeah, and I think playing a program like that just consistently, because Sinton is going to get better as the season progresses. They always do, right? They're always going to be a good competition for whoever plays them, because have a winning tradition over there, just like we do here at Tuloso Midway. I think going 5 sets is good. We're in the game.
Mhm.
I think we're going to be able to learn, like you said, some of the things that you're kind of talking about there was we didn't go for the kill. We didn't go. We played it kind of safe. They came back to, beat us in 5 sets. So it's something that I think we're going to learn from. Our girls are going to learn from, and we're
Mhm.
going to be ready as we get closer to district. We've got 2 more games with 2 teams coming up that I'll talk with Coach here in a bit and get her thoughts on what we need to do to get those wins as we get into district. But Coach, as you see us getting real, district is just around the corner. From the start of the season to now, kind of give us your thoughts on team ready to go for district. Are you still seeing some things before, I think maybe in 2 weeks, that when district starts that you want to still see from your team? Because when district starts, that's when it counts.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's definitely the conversations we've been having. Like, we kind of have a countdown, like 3 games till district play, 2 games till district play, 1 game till district play. And I think we're right where we need to be. I think, we're making a little bit of personnel changes here in the next couple games to really just kind of, light a fire under some people. I think we're at the point where we're just a little comfortable in our roles. And so I think the change is definitely a much needed change. But I think, we are where we need to be. We're really connecting well as a group, collectively as a whole. Bringing in a lot of new people to our roster has been kind of the biggest growth area for us. Is returners really meshing and building relationships with the people who are new to varsity this year. I mean, I think we're finally past that point. We're learning to trust each other more. We're building those relationships. We're on the court. We have more trust. Now it's just who's going to take advantage of the opportunity and who's going to show, at the end of the day, they're the person that we can go to in those high pressure situations when we, have a 5-set match, or, when we're down 2 sets or whatever the case is. Like, who's going to be that person that, is going to step up and kind of share that offensive load, or be that person on defense that we can go to that's going to just like go all out, get that ball. It's just, those are the kind of things that we are where we need to be. I think we have 2 games to put those final pieces of the puzzle together before it's all or nothing. And I think we're getting there. We're getting closer to getting there for sure.
Absolutely. And we've already played a lot. The volleyball season is not
Oh,
like
for
the
sure.
football season, right?
Yeah.
You play 1 game every week, you play 2 weeks. And so by the time your district is around the corner, you're getting hyped up for district. It's very easy to kind of probably get complacent.
Mm-hmm.
Not something you want to do,
For
but
sure.
it is a long volleyball season. Look at all the
Mm-hmm.
games you played, the
Yeah.
tournaments that you played in. You play sometimes 5 games. And so we can have a game where the girls probably don't bring their A game,
Mm-hmm.
but I think overall, the district coming in will be definitely prepared. Listening to you talk, Coach, I know you'll have these girls prepared and ready to go for district. How are we looking, Coach, with injuries? Is everybody healthy, ready to go at this point?
Yeah, we are. We really are. We have just a few little minor mid-season aches and pains. I think that's normal just for the amount of matches that we have. So we're really like looking to, we have a tough 5-set match. So we have a low impact day to day where we, take it a little bit easier. We rest our bodies so that way we can kind of be prepared. We have a low impact practice, but we're healthy. The girls are healthy. I think we have a few little aches and pains, but that's normal for the middle of the season. Like you said, we played lots of volleyball before, especially in our case, because our district is so small and not starting district till late September. We play a lot of matches. So it's kind of finding that fine line of that high intensity, giving us some moments of rest, kind of making sure that we're fueled and we're ready to go come next Friday.
Absolutely. And Coach has one of her players, and I'm going to jump over to her here in just a bit. She is a senior. The coach, last week we started talking about some of our underclassmen. Coach, I asked Coach to just pick one of the underclassmen so we can get to know them. They'll be back next year. Coach, before I go to the senior player that's sitting next to you, can you talk a little bit about pick one of the girls that will be coming back next year? Talk to us about her name, jersey number, but just the growth that you've seen. Somebody that we're going to be talking about next year.
Yeah, for sure. New to varsity this year was Hailey Mclaughlin. She's number
14.
Oh yeah, she's
14.
she's number 14. And she's coming to us. She's a really neat kid because she played on our freshman team last year. So that is a really, really big jump going from playing freshman volleyball to next year, sophomore year, playing varsity volleyball, and not only just playing varsity volleyball, but jumping in and starting and contributing. One thing we love about Hailey is she's a competitor. Like she does not back down. And she's gonna go all out. Like she is just a competitor through and through. She holds people accountable. She challenges people. She's not afraid of, you know, stepping up to the seniors and kind of holding them accountable and saying, you know, which is good. We want to have those conversations. We want people who are, are, young and can step in and, say, hey, like just because I'm a sophomore doesn't mean I can't hold people accountable or I can't call people out when they're not doing something. So she's really great. She's fun to watch. She's definitely learning and she has her moments, but she's playing really great volleyball right now, especially going from being on the freshman team last year to starting on varsity. Yeah, it's a big jump and she's holding her own for sure.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, it is a big jump because the speed obviously of the game, you're playing girls that are older. So to be able to hear that she's coming together very well, we'll have her for 2 more years. Because as the seniors, as the season will end eventually, right? We want to stay competitive. It's always important to see what's coming up, and I think the two girls that you talked about coming in next year seem to be when these girls leave, right? We've got some girls leadership. Obviously, I think she looks like she's going to be someone that we can use in that role. It's going to be great to keep the Lady Cherokees competitive. So glad to hear that, Coach. We'll talk about an underclassman every Wednesday she comes on, so the community can get to know our players and get Coach's thoughts on some of the girls that we'll see next year here for volleyball, because this volleyball program is really good. And it's been great, and I think it's going to continue to be great in the next years to come. Hopefully, we're going to be a part of that and be able to talk to Coach Chapa here for the next couple of years. Sitting next to her is another player. She is a senior. I'm going to let her introduce herself. So if you can give us your name and your jersey number and what position do you play for the Lady Cherokees?
Hi, I'm Melanee Garcia. I am a senior. I am number 4, and I am a setter and a right side hitter.
Wow. Well, thank you for joining us here on the Coach Chapa a weekly podcast. Coach has a podcast, and I asked her last week, I said, Coach, could you bring some players on? And she said, absolutely. Someone wanted to come so that we can get an idea, the community can get an idea and be able to hear from the players and talk a little bit about the season, your teammates and things. So I'm going to start off with just yourself. How long have you been playing volleyball? When did you start? And is that the only sport that you play there at TM?
I started playing volleyball when I was 6 years old.
Wow.
And I don't play any other sports. Volleyball is my thing. I do school season from August through November, and then club from December or November, actually, November through May. So It's all year round.
Volleyball. And Coach Chapa talks like that's how she says volleyball was in my family. That's all I know. Some of us know football from the time we're little. You ladies over there, it's volleyball for us. And that is why I think that the Toloso Midway in this coastal Bend area is one of the elite volleyball programs, because we have a lot. I've heard that it's just not you. There's some other players that do that, that play in these all year round. And I think that's what keeps us competitive. So volleyball was yours from 6 years old. Did your family, did mom play? Did someone play? Or did you just say, this is the sport I want to play?
Well, my cousin played volleyball. She actually committed to Texas A&M Kingsville when she was a freshman, I believe, or a sophomore. So she was really into it, and we would play at my grandma's house in the backyard, and I really just fell in love with the sport. And I went to a club clinic that she owns, she coaches at. Yeah. And I met Coach Chapa when I was 6 years old, and she helped me fall in love with the game. And her and Coach Jamie Gill helped me become a setter. And here I am.
Here you are. Wow, that's a great story. I always like to hear stories like that. Thank you for sharing that with us, because how did the kids get involved in this sport? And for you, it's volleyball. It's nothing else. You don't play any other sport. This is it all year round for me. Even when the season ends, man, I'm playing it. Great to hear that. I'm sure there's other players just like you there. Talk to us a little bit about the season. It's been going great. Expectations are high there for team. They always are. We talked to Coach Chop about that. It's always about, competing for a district title there. So there's always pressure. on you, on the kids, because they know from the day one, it's the expectation is we're going to win a district title. We're going to make a deep playoff run. That's the goal. That's what's set there. When you play for the Lady Cherokees, you got to hit that goal. What's it been like for you this year, the season? Talk a little bit just about the season. And as you get into district, what's the expectation for the team?
Well, the season has been going really well. At the beginning, a lot of people underestimated us because we are really brand new and really young. Because we did graduate a few seniors. We lost our setter, we lost both of our middles, lost our right side. So we were really coming into this all new, trying to regroup and find like the groove within each other. And I really think we are coming together as a whole. And with district coming up, I feel we have played really good matches. Like Sinton, we just had last night, and that was a really good start of showing how we do in tough situations and what we need to do to fix and learn and to grow more together as a whole. So I think district is going to be really, really good. I think honestly we could get a district title this year. I'm really confident in that.
Yeah, coach has talked about it. I've had coach there next to you. She's said that's the ultimate goal. We want to bring it back to TM. Let me ask you this, because I didn't prep you for this, but I want to ask you. So you played against, because I hear the rivalry, right? Everybody knows the rivalry, right? TM Calhoun. You guys are neighbors, so there's no secret, and those schools that are right next to each other, there's always a good rivalry. So for a fan and a spectator, right, we love that stuff. Like I love that stuff. I want to go there and see it. I want to be part of the fans yelling and seeing the excitement before a player. And you've been in some of these already. What's it been like for you? I know every game is a little different, but for Calhoun, do you as a player, every game you're ready, you do what you need to do and I'm prepared, but do you get just a little bit more higher when it's Calhoun, or is it always the same for you every game?
I think for Calhoun, just throughout my day, coming to school, hearing like everyone talking about the big game, Calhoun, I do get a little nervous, but it's really fun. The environment is so loud. Everybody's cheering. We're all so hyped. And I treat it as every other game just so I won't get too much in my head and thinking and overdoing my game. So it's Calhoun. My brain tells me it's Calhoun. I have to show out, but I try to just stay composed and just play my game.
Absolutely. And that's the best you can do. Let us podcasters do what we do. We hype it up for the fans to go, right? And I love games like that. If fans do, right, from both sides, right? Very respectful, two good programs that go at it. So I think for volleyball fans in the Coastal Bend area, man, I think people will show up that aren't even from TM just to watch a great a game. But you're right. For you got to find that balance, right? And it's kind of hard for the players now because with social media, it's everywhere, and everyone's talking about it. You can't really get away from it. But it's good to know that you try to, and as a senior here, to keep the other younger players to kind of understand, right? Because you got some younger players to say, hey, look, it's hype. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of people, but we got to play our game. It's great to hear that. And I'm looking forward to hitting one or going to one of those games, whether it be coach. Let me ask you, is one of those games on Tuesdays? Because on Fridays, I can't make
Yes. So when we play, the first time we play them here, it's a Friday. And then the second time we play them over there, it's a Tuesday.
So I'll have to go to Calhoun to go watch it. Definitely. Yeah. Wow. So it's going to be great. I think both places are going to be packed with Calhoun fans. They'll travel heavily to Teloso Middle. I think the TM fans were heavy. So it's going to be great. So I'm definitely putting it on my calendar to go down there and see that game. I can't wait for it. Talk to us a little bit about your teammates. So like you said, it's a little young. You heard coach talk about a sophomore coming up, but what role do you play as a senior with the young ones? Do they come up to you as a senior, ask you for some advice, or do you just kind of as a senior take it upon yourself as a responsibility to help these younger girls, kind of develop throughout the season, because you won't be there next year?
Well, at first, a few of the freshmen were really shy of the seniors, so I took it upon myself to take them in because I was that one freshman on varsity my freshman year. And I know the nervousness that you could feel walking into a gym full of older girls that you've never played with before. being that young girl, that little 14-year-old girl walking into a gym with 17, 18-year-old girls. So I took it upon myself to go up to them, talk to them, make them feel welcome, and let them know that they have a voice and they're in that gym for a reason. Coach Chapa chose them to be in our gym because she sees a spark in them. She sees a fire in them, and that they deserve to be in the gym just as much as anybody else could be in the gym, just as us seniors as well.
Wow, awesome. Coach Chapa has to be really excited and to have someone like you, because number one, just what you said there, you being in that position a couple of years ago, understanding how a freshman would feel, to take that upon yourself to go say, look, I'm going to tell you, you got a voice here. We want to hear what you got to say. Because it is scary for a 14-year-old girl to be playing with 18-year-olds. You know, I'm a little timid. Should I do this? Should I not do that? So for you to be able to go up there and say that is huge for these young girls that are on the team. I got to say, you interview well. Well.
Thank you.
Yes, I hope Coach brings you back on. I didn't know. I said, man, I should have prepped more questions for it, because I thought it was going to be kind of like I'm a little shy. But boy, next time you come on, hopefully Coach will bring you on. I'll have more questions for you, because you definitely interview very well. I'm going to ask you before I let you go to talk a little bit about your coach. Right, this is where it starts. You talked a little bit about knowing Coach Chapa since you were about 6 or 7 years old. So this just doesn't go for the last 3 or 4 years. We're talking a long time. What's it meant for you? How has Coach helped you in your game? What we see every Tuesday and Friday, and what's it been like to now, when you got Washington, to be able to play for her as your head coach?
Well, starting with club, I think she coached my 12th year. 12th year, I played up. I was maybe 9 years old playing with 12-year-old girls. Wow. And I got asked to play with the 11s, and Coach Chapa was the coach, and I was her libero, which is a very funny story, but I was the libero. That was the first time she was like I wouldn't say like a head coach, but like a head coach, but I was never really under her because I had a different coach, because I went to TM. You're not supposed to be coached by someone from TM. And that was really fun. That's like when my love for volleyball really, really, really started. And coming into school, my freshman year, Coach Chapa wasn't here yet. And honestly, I wasn't really given a great opportunity just because I had upperclassmen above me. And I knew my role. I knew what I had to do. I knew I wasn't going to play over the senior who had been on varsity all 4 years. That I already knew that. So coming into my sophomore year, we were young as well that year as well. And I knew I had to do my role, and coming in from not really playing to playing all around that year, actually. And Coach Chapa gave me the opportunity. She saw something in me, and she let me play all 6 rotations. And coming in, it was really fun. Junior year, super fun. Also, same opportunity, amazing. Coming into game days, also, we know what we have to do. We have a very, very strict game day plan. Come in 8th period, get dressed, do our pregame, get our mindset right, make sure we're hyped, come into the gym, and we know what to do. We come in, it's our house. We got to do what we need to do and play our game. Senior year, last year, best year. And coming into my last year, I knew that we were young again, and it's my last year, and I tried to make it my best with Coach Chapa, because this will be our last time being together, because it's my last year playing ever, because club, she can't coach me as well because we go to the same school. Right. So overall, we've grown together since I was yay big to still being the same height since I was in 4th grade. So, but I haven't grown. That's fine.
Wow. And that's, you have a great story, and I'm glad that we were able to put this on there. And Coach Chapa talks about how important you ladies are to her. And, you know, because she's also from TM. So it's not just coming from, I mean, that's her school. She graduated, played there. So I think when a coach always goes back, for me, it's just, I mean, you're going to win. A coach is going to want to win wherever they go. But when you go back to your old alma mater, it's just special, right? And so to be able to have that relationship with you and your family since you were yay high, and see your growth, right? Because she's seen your growth. And now you come in and say, whoa, now she's going to be my head coach. I think it's a special time for both the player and obviously coach. Coach, I'll go to you now to say a couple of words about her. She's sitting next to you. She's a senior. Now I know a little bit more about y'all's relationship. What's it been like for you to see her grow, to get to know her when she was young, and to see her through that develop and love this game that you loved as well, and then seeing her growth all the way to the senior year, just continue to get better every year?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, it's always, when you coach someone when they're 9 years old, you have no idea what the future is going to look like. You obviously, I saw something in Melanee as a 9-year-old, and, we wanted to grow and develop that. And I just wanted to share my love of the game with her. And then to flash forward to the future and to get the opportunity to come back and be her coach her sophomore through senior year, it's kind of like a just like holy cow moment. Like, all that time ago, you saw something in this little girl, and then to be able to kind of close the chapter and, close the book with her, it's going to be definitely come to the end of her season. It's definitely going to be very, very emotional, because
very emotional.
These girls hold definitely a special place in my heart. I was learning to love the game of volleyball in a different aspect. I was a young coach, back when they were 9 years old. It was a long time ago. I wasn't as seasoned.
When I came to the state game when I was like 9 years old, watching her coach.
Yeah, and I wasn't as seasoned as I am as then now. So they've also seen me evolve as a coach and come into go through very different coaching styles. Come in. I come into a new school and have to be very strict and very stern, and kind of evolve and getting to kind of not ease up, because I wouldn't say I ease up too much, but just definitely the relationships are different 3 years in than they were 1 year in. And then getting to be here and close the chapter with Melanee is going to be something special. We don't want to talk about it too soon. We're going to get we're emotional people.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
So, if we talk about it too much, we don't want any tears on the podcast. Yeah. Not yet, come, the end of October, November, maybe a different story for us. But it is something special to, see that little 9-year-old girl and see where she is today, and the leader she is, and the role. She's the only senior who's a 4-year varsity player. And, like she said, her freshman year, it wasn't easy. She had to learn to accept her role. And I think that's something that's very important in a player's growth and development. And she had a great family. She has a great family that backs her and supports her, and helped her through that process. They could have very easily said, this is too hard, you can give up, Melanee. But they support her. She has a great fan club, mom, dad, brothers, niece, sister-in-law, everybody, grandmas, everybody's out there in the fans supporting.
Our whole middle section is my family.
Yeah.
Wow.
She comes from a long line of TM grads also. So, TM is in her blood. So it's special. It's definitely special to get to be here with her and finish our last year.
Yeah, Melanee, and I think whatever you decide to do, I'm not sure where you're going to go when you graduate college or whatever, but if you ever choose to go to that coaching route, right, you have one right there next to you that can really help you outside of that. Great support staff. I think every great athlete should have a support staff. I see a lot of athletes who's, in football and basketball, who family come out, 12, 15 of them every game. They're out there. Grandma's out there. My cousin's out there. And it's a beautiful thing for the player to be able to see that game in and game out. That support is so important for a player. And then to have the coach and have that relationship, things are really, really going good for you there. And I'm glad to hear that. Coach, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I do this sometimes. How many seniors do you have?
We have 6 seniors on varsity this year.
So, because I've done this before at other podcasts and it's worked out pretty good. I don't know if you'd want to do it, but right after district, wherever we land, right before the season ends, because I like to end it before the season ends. Maybe we can have a podcast wherever you choose, where I can have you and your 6 seniors come together sometime before the playoffs, right? Because you don't want to make it right afterwards, because then it really gets emotional.
Yeah.
So if you have it somewhere after the district and going into the playoffs, there's still that. We still got more to go, but it would be really great to have as a memory where coach can talk about each one of the players. Each one of the players can talk about the coach, and then you girls can share, Melanee, the memories that you had. I don't know if there's other girls that have the same story, probably not as like you, but they have memories there for Tuloso Midwest. So, Coach, is that something you think we can do right after the season ends?
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll find a place where you all can fit in the camera and talk a little bit about. So that'll be a podcast that's coming up. Coach, Mel, you had a great story. Great
Because
story. And I
yeah,
really hope that Coach will bring you back outside of that podcast, because I think next time I'll have more questions, because you interviewed so great. I
yeah.
didn't know what I was getting. I said, wow, I should have more questions for her. So I apologize that I don't. But I'll go back over to Coach now. And Coach, you've still got 2 games coming. They're going to be, I think, 2 tough games. I don't know what Calhoun has this year, but I have seen them play in the last 2, 3 years. They always have a great volleyball program over there. Those girls are ready to go, kind of like the way we are at TM. So talk to us a little bit about Calhoun first before we get to Beeville. And those games are at home.
Mhm.
What's the expectation? Obviously, is to win, but what do you want to see from your girls in that game to continue to get better and get the W?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we want to see is it's another high. It's sometimes it's hard, in the same week to have 2 really high intensity matches with really competitive opponents. But I definitely want to see how we bounce back. This is a team we play Calhoun every year in regular season, and then we always face them in postseason. So it's definitely we want to use it as a gauge. Like, where are we now? What do we need to work on? Because this could be a potential playoff match, come near in the future. So that's definitely what I want to see. I want to see, kind of our resiliency and how we bounce back after a tough loss. And, definitely want to, go fighting, make sure that we understand wins aren't handed to you. You got to earn wins. And so, everybody wants to come in. And like I said earlier, you either win or you learn. And we definitely Friday want to be the people who are winning. They're a great team. They're solid. They have, great offense, and they have great defense too. So they're always a really solid, well-rounded team. So it's definitely one of those things where we want to kind of see who we are early off in the season against them. So that way we definitely know kind of like our checkpoint of where we are and what we need to do to prepare in a potential postseason match.
Coach, is this the first time this year that we're going to play Calhoun? Calhoun, I'm sorry.
This is the second time we played them. We played them at the Goliad tournament, and we lost to them in 3 sets in the Goliad tournament. So it was a great match. I think it was like the first set, it was like 25-27.
Yeah.
Like we beat them 27-25, something like that. So it was a good match. I think we're a completely different team, in just 2.5, 3 weeks, as we were back August 30th, which is crazy to think about. So, it's, we've had a lot of volleyball since August 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be a fun matchup to kind of see where we are today. We've got a bunch of different lineups. We've been through a lot of different. This will be a little bit of a personnel change, so it'll be interesting to see where we are and how we match up.
Definitely looking forward to see how we do that. And what can you tell us about Beeville? That will be your last non-district game before we hit district with Robstown. What can you tell us about Beeville? What do you know about them?
When looking at them, I think they're having themselves a really great season right now. Both them and Calhoun are ranked pretty high in the TGCA polls in 4A. So Beeville's been playing some great volleyball. I think they're like 23-3 or 23-2. So they've been playing some great volleyball. So again, we want to just see like how we handle these really, back to back competitive matches, and kind of, really pushing ourselves going into district play, because we, outside of this, the level is very sporadic throughout the rest of district. So once we get out of these next couple non-district matches, we have lots of different level changes going out through district. So really having moments of seeing who we are in these tough situations, how we bounce back, playing some really great volleyball, hopefully, in the mix. So really just working to, be true to who we are and, get some 2 home wins before we're going into district.
Well, I got to say, Coach, looking at your schedule, your non-district, you really put the girls through the test, right? You really wanted to see, and I think that's good. District is what matters. And so definitely the girls have been challenged. Obviously, we've won some and we've lost some, but that happens. You don't win them all during a long season. But I think we're going to learn a lot. But God, you have definitely put the schedule out for them to see this is what we need to get. And so I think that's going to be good. I think that's definitely going to play for us as we get into district and the playoffs. So the next 2 Warriors, Cherokee fans here, it's going to be a good one. So definitely come out there, both at home there at TM. Definitely come out, support Lady Cherokees Volleyball, doing some great things as we get into district, which is going to be great. And then we're hoping to make a deep playoff run, get that district title, bring it back, Coach.
Yes.
Also, Mustang fans, next week we're going to go live here, same time, Wednesday, 4 p.m. The Coach Shelby Chapa weekly podcast, but it will be live. So you don't have to wait for it. When is it going to come out? It'll be live. You can catch it on our GT Sports Facebook page. Go to GT Sports Facebook page. I'll also share it later on to our YouTube channel, but you can definitely check it out on our GT Sports. I don't know, Coach. I think it's going to be Facebook. It could be YouTube. I'll let you guys know. But it's definitely going to be live. And we are working on some things. I am working on some things with Coach B to be able to work on some things that I don't really want to say a lot. But if it happens, it's going to be really good for not just football, but for volleyball and the other sports coming. So definitely working with some stuff. Hopefully all comes together here. But I do want to give you guys the final word here, like I always do. Good luck, Melanee, to you guys in these two games. They're going to be very, very good, competitive. Hopefully, when we talk next week with Coach, we'll be talking about 2 wins. But either way, they're good programs. I think we can learn something, the competition as we move into district. But is there anything else you want to add before we let you go? And thank you once again for coming on. I hope Coach brings you back on before the season ends.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say thank you for having me. And I would like to shout out my teammates and all of y'all for supporting me and me supporting y'all. I love y'all. And I want to shout out my mom and my dad for giving me the opportunity to play school ball and club ball. And I want to shout out my 2 brothers who love me unconditionally, and my niece Luna. I love Luna. And my sister-in-laws and my grandparents. I love y'all so much. And thank you for supporting me throughout my volleyball journey since I was yay big.
Yeah. And the best is still yet to come. We're going to get into district. Coach, very impressed. I'm very impressed with your player here. Very professional, right? And just a joy to have to be able to talk, represent yourself. And I'm sure she represents TM wherever you go in the community very, very well. I'm sure you got other girls like that, but thank you for bringing her out and introducing her to the community and the surrounding areas. I know I'm very impressed with the interview that I had here with her. I'm sure others will. This will be loaded up here later on tonight or first thing in the morning, and you can catch it on our GT Sports YouTube channel or Facebook and on our Twitter as well. And it'll also be on Spotify. So if you listen to Spotify, just go to the Coach Shelby Chapa weekly podcast and look it up. You'll have your name on there. Share it. Let everybody know they can hear the audio version on Spotify and the others on our other social media platforms. Coach, good luck the next 2 games. I hope when you and I talk again that we will be talking 2 wins, but the district is what's coming up. That's what's really important. Looking forward to the district and continuing to talk about this Lady Cherokees team, which I think is really, really good. Coach will have another player on next Wednesday. I don't know until they come on. So you got to tune in live to the podcast next Wednesday to find out who Coach will select to come on to join us next week. But Coach, I'll give you the final thought. Anything you want to add?
No, the biggest thing is just thank you to the community for coming out last night. We had a super awesome student section who rooted us on from start to finish of the match. That student section, was awesome. It included our sub-varsity teams. So we appreciate the support from our community. We had a packed house on our stands. It was a whiteout night, and you looked at our stands, our bleachers were packed, and we love that. We appreciate the community support. We love that, from middle school players to little girls in the stands, they're getting to watch these girls compete at such a high level. And that's why we do it. We do it for we do it for our friends, our family, and the people in the stands, and to have them all there watching us and supporting us, whether we win or lose, means the world to us. So we definitely, community, fans, students, faculty, families, everybody, all of the above, we appreciate you guys' support because y'all showed up big for us last night.
Absolutely, Coach. And I got to say, TM, I've only talked to you a few times, but very impressed. I think Toloso Midway is very lucky to have you running their volleyball program. And like you said, for the little girls that are out there, and that's why I think, you see this interview, people are going to see this interview, the way you conducted yourself, Melanee, the way these little girls can kind of understand. You're setting the standard there at Toloso Midway of the way you're supposed to play the game, the work is supposed to put in. So those young girls are really lucky to be able to look up to these seniors. And I'm sure I'll be impressed with the next couple of girls that Coach brings in as well. It seems like it's a very well organized program out there, and that's why you guys have had the success that you've had
Mhm.
for so many years. So good luck, Melanee. We'll see you. I know we'll see you again at least one more time when
Yes,
we get that senior
definitely.
podcast. But good luck, Coach. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next Wednesday. Looking
Yes,
forward to see
sir.
who the next player will be.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.